Hello everyone and welcome back to Packs and Recreation, and today we're getting into the twilight zone of things to open with an accessory pack. A very fun one, if anything, which is a very old one, if anything, but hey, bear with me, I like it. So this is the first partner accessory bundle from UltraPro, ironically and funnily enough. So we're going to open this bad boy. Give me a second here to crack this plastic and see if it's worth it. There you go. Now, by default, it's not worth it because these things are fairly overpriced normally, but you get the following. Complete trading card accessory bundle for Pokemon, which is not what it includes, is what it is, but you had to fill the bullet points. It's like when you do something for school and you're like, oh, we need to fill the page so it doesn't look empty, and you put like the word, everything, like the font size, and you just put random bullets. Full view deck box with matching card divider, holds 80 plus standard size TCG cards, so it works for everything, not only Pokemon. Storage box holds 700 plus sleeved cards. 65 deck protector. I was like, what is this quantity? So 65 deck protector sleeves made with chroma fusion technology to prevent delamination, and a playmat. And the thing with playmats from UltraPro is that most of them are ugly, but for some reason this one actually survives the purge, I will say. So let's see. You get this cool box that they actually advertise as part of the thing, and to be honest, it is kind of cool. It's called the first partner. They release one box after this with the remaining starters that are missing, but this is for nostalgia's sake, and for nostalgia's sake, the starters that are here are most of the starters that people care about. So you have the original trio, so first gen, second gen, third gen, fourth, and then on the other side you have 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So we're only missing the 9th gen. So they release a version of this just with the 9th gen. I'm trying to see if I can get it, but it's kind of expensive. So I don't want to pay full price for it, to be honest, because I don't like those starters as much. This one feels very emblematic, but to be fair, it was destined to be outdated the moment like a new Pokemon game releases. Like, you no longer have all the starters. So I think I would have preferred if they focused on different generations, like one set for this, one set for this, one set for this, and that's it. Maybe one set for this. Obviously it wouldn't sell that much because people, well, don't care about all the starters equally. I know that this one will sell, this will sell some, and this some, and then from that point onwards, it really depends on people. But everything together is cool. Now we have the classic UltraPro treatment here, which means that this is a bunch of PNG images put together. The only difference from most of the UltraPro playmats and so on is that this time it kind of works, because since they are all together here, and this is the Kensugi Mori art, at least for the first ones, it kind of works. It doesn't matter that much that we have a bunch of PNGs together. Like, it doesn't look that bad, but normally it looks bad because they just put like different Pokemon in different sizes and it doesn't match. So let's see what's in the box. What's in the box? So you already saw the notes of what's in the box. This box is for cards, and that's cool. This playmat is not that bad as you would expect. This doesn't come with any cards or anything. You get the deck box, which has stuff on it. We're going to see in a second. And the start of the show, which is the playmat. Now, the box is pretty cool because once you open it, you have the silhouettes of the starters, which is pretty cool. Now, again, it's the same PNGs, but they just did like the silhouettes with the Photoshop layer mask thing. It's, but somehow it looks cool, it looks emblematic, because these are the arts from each generation. We are used to these arts, so it's just not like when you put like an Articuno in big and then some other ice Pokemon scattered around, it just look like very bad in my opinion. So this is not that bad, and as it says, it fits 750 cards, so you can put a lot of cards in here, Pokemon cards or Magic cards or whatever. You can put even Yugi cards, but well, you're going to have a lot of dead space in there. Now, as for the playmat, let's do a change of playmat. We have our beloved shiny Eevee there, and we're going to put this one on top. Now, I don't dislike it for the reason that it's just the symbols, and this is pretty cool. And then the under part is the starters, and yes, it's the PNGs, but this time it somehow works because they are more or less the same size, and it's the original images for each. Like, if instead of this design we had a worse design, like all the starters like scattered around or something, this will be a very bad playmat. But since they're all here, it looks pretty good. Plus the symbols for energy are pretty cool looking, so you know, not bad. Maybe not the best for doing videos, because if I put it like this, you can't see the starters and just see like half the logo. I will need to put them like this, which you don't see all the starters because you're missing here my semi-last boys here, and you're cutting Bulbasaur and Charmander, so maybe not the best for doing a video, which is a shame, but certainly cool for playing with it. And the box. Now, the deck box is, well, it's called a see-through deck box or whatever. Is it worth it? As a product, it depends a lot on how much you pay for it, and that's why I got this one, because I found it cheap, and I think it's a pretty evergreen Pokemon product, meaning you can buy this product in any moment that UltraPro is selling it, and they can sell it pretty much forever, because all the starters never change. Like, maybe it's outdated because it doesn't have the most recent starters, but it has all the other starters, so it's a pretty much evergreen product. They can keep selling it forever. It doesn't say like Scarlet and Violet or anything like that. So, you know, and I think it's one of the best designs they have, which doesn't speak very nicely about the other designs. I give them a bunch of shit for their designs, but it's true that the playmat designs for Pokemon from UltraPro are just very bad. I'm assuming that they just get certain arts from certain Pokemon from the Pokemon company and they do whatever they can. But I mean, you can do more original things like this one. This one is kind of cool, even though, again, these are PNGs and just like, there's no like a specific art done, or it's not like a card art like they do with Magic the Gathering. So, you know, the deck box is cool-ish, I guess. It follows the same logic. Something cool that I don't know if the camera catches is that the thing is kind of, it's not silver, but it's white-ish, but it's like gray. It's not silver, but almost there. And the energy symbols that have color on them, they actually are slightly shiny. Not foil, but they reflect light in a different way. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's kind of cool. And then, well, it's this type of deck box, the Cobra Neck deck box, although the Cobra Neck technology is only from GameGenic, but you know, it's one of those deck boxes. It's kind of cool. It's a normal deck box, so a very, you know, cheap deck box. You're not going to go crazy over it. A divider that I have to say is pretty cool. It's amazing how the dividers from Pokemon, like anything Pokemon or Magic the Gathering that just has the symbols, looks pretty cool because we love these symbols. We're used to them. However, they do charge you a lot for them. Like, they release a back to basics kind of collection for Magic the Gathering with the mana symbols, and the thing was so, and is because they still sell it, it's so expensive. It's very elegant, but so expensive. It's like, how can it be that expensive if you are using the basic of most basic of arts? And here is the same. Like, with this is already a pretty good looking thing. You could do a deck box with this, like, right, without the starters. You can do an entire playmat with this, which is pretty much the playmat because the Pokemon are just in the bottom. So, like, you know, it's a pretty nice design. I like it. The divider is cool. It's cool that they went with more colors here. And then you have the sleeves, which, you know, normal sleeves, nothing to write home about. And I am divided between like the gray design or maybe just going full color, but I guess they prefer to be like consistent with the thing. Now, is it worth it? Well, depends on your preference, really, because how much should you pay for what is essentially a very good box, a very big and I guess good cardboard box to put cards on it, which again is the right size for having deck boxes. Even you can put deck boxes in here. Now, if you're like me and you play multiple card games and you like the Pokemon aesthetic for some things but not for everything, and you want to, for example, to play Magic with it, now it fits other deck boxes, right? Because again, this is a normal deck box from UltraPro. It fits, but this is to fit your cards. Does it fit double sleeve cards? Yes, it does. I don't have any double sleeve Pokemon cards next to me, but I have Bloomborough cards, which, you know, is the closest thing to a Pokemon card. And double sleeved Dragon Shield, obviously they fit, because if the deck box fits, deck box fits, everything fits in here. So kind of cool. They will dance a little bit. So without the sleeve, they will dance a little bit more. Sadly, they don't fit like this, which, you know, it is what it is. But they fit like this and they dance a little bit. So what's going to happen is that you can fit a lot of cards like this, and then you can put some like this or even like this to give them less wiggle room, which is not bad. But this is all talking about the card box, and no one pays that much for a card box, even though this is kind of cool looking, the inside and the outside, right? So it's cool. The playmat is the star of the show, and I regret to say it's not the best playmat ever. So the deck box is whatever. It's just one of those cheap deck boxes. It's okay, but see, like, it's not going to last you 10 years. It's just okay, and the design is okay. Like, they didn't even try to, they just used the bar again here. They didn't even try to like center the Pokemon or anything. So my main boys were left here to the left, and then Chikorita is separated from the other two because they just, you know, did it in whichever way it fits. They didn't care, right? So they just repeated the same thing, which is okay for consistency, but meh, right? So the divider is cool, but I'm not paying 20 plus bucks for a divider, which is a shame. And the sleeves are okay. It's just like normal UltraPro sleeves. Nothing to write home about. The design is subjective, so up to you. I am divided. I like it that it's kind of sober, but I will maybe prefer them to be more colorful like this. I don't know, 50-50 here. I guess up to preference. So this is okay, but nothing to write home about. The box is okay. The box is kind of cool, actually, but nothing, like, no one will buy the box only. Like, yes, it fits a playmat and some stuff, but unless you want to store your playmat and your stuff like a vault or something, this is not something that you throw into your backpack, right? So this box is to stay in your home, like, you know, with cards or even with a playmat and cards, but like stay, you know, there, not moving around because it's going to be messed all over the place. So it really all comes down to this, the playmat. And what about the playmat? Well, it's not crazy, I will tell you that. The playmat maybe looks great to you in the video, and rightfully so, because, you know, cool design and so on. But if you look at it in detail, which I will try to do my best to show you, see how it's like not focused, the printing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not stretching it, I'm just holding it. Can you tell? I don't know if you can see on the camera, but like you can see here as well. And you can be like, oh, that's Ken Sugimori's art. It's like, well, maybe. But what about the most recent ones that have like more solid style art, like the same? The printing is very porous, which you may be saying, well, I mean, it's a playmat. Obviously, they printed like that. It's like, nope, not like that, because look at the Eevee one, and this is, yes, this comes from a Pokemon set, but I'm pretty sure they did some. This has to be some collaboration with UltraPro, but if not, then I don't know why. Because some Magic the Gathering playmats are not like this, and maybe you're like, well, it's because it has a lot of small symbols and it's white, and that's why you can see this washed out thing all over the playmat. But I don't know, it looks very washed out, and it's new. I mean, it's not used. You saw me opening. If you compare it to other UltraPro playmats, it starts to look pretty bad for this one, because again, it's not because of the art. This is a very colorful art from Modern Horizons. Yeah, from Commander Masters. Yeah, Commander Masters. So this is from Commander Masters, and look at this. Yeah, you have the porosity, you have the porous and of like a playmat, but look at the lines. The lines are a lot more well defined, and you have all these contrast of colors between characters, and it looks pretty solid. Now look at that again, and you're looking at it from a distance. But now I will make you again see up close. See how it's like all washed out? Again, this is a Ultimate Guard playmat, which Ultimate Guard is not even, doesn't sell as many playmats as UltraPro. And look at this one. Look at that detail. And see, like, look at that. It doesn't look washed out. Now look at that again. It doesn't look washed out from the distance, but then you zoom in, it just looks washed out, which is pretty crazy. I don't know. It's even more noticeable. It's even more noticeable with the Pokemon, because if you see the Pokemon, you will see that the lines in them are not very good. So maybe the solution is UltraPro is not that good at making white playmats, but see, they look like, when you like, they look like out of focus slightly, and that's what bothers me about this, because I kind of like the design. It's not my favorite design. Like, maybe I would prefer that it's just the dots, but I like this, the Pokemon underneath. Like, I like the whole thing of like first partner thing, but it doesn't feel premium quality, and they are charging premium quality prices for this and the next one that has the 3 Pokemon that are missing. So I don't know how to feel about this. My opinion is, if you can find it pretty cheap and you like the design of the playmat, because the playmat is the main star here. Like, you're not going to go crazy for the deck box or this, right? Like, this is like a nice to have. You're going in for this and maybe the box. So if you're going in for the box and the playmat, which is the things that are worth it in my opinion, at least make it cheap. Like, I don't know, $15 maybe. And maybe $20, because depending on the playmat, some playmats cost like $20, $15, $12, depending on what art, how old it is. But maybe $20. Why? Because you may be thinking, oh well, but like for $18 normally you get one normal playmat, and here you have like the box and these things. So like, that sounds unfair to UltraPro. And it's like, well, first, no, and second, it's like, because I don't like the quality of the playmat's printing that much. It feels out of focus, which is weird for me to say. So otherwise I would say like 25 for everything will be great, but now it's more like 20, 18, and if you can really get it for 15, premium pick. Like, I saw somewhere, I think it was eBay or something, that it was like some people sold it for like 12, or Card Market, or I don't remember. Like, some people got it for $12 or $12.95 or something, and that's an amazing price, right? But again, it depends on how much you usually pay for playmats. If you normally pay like $15, $20, then that should be the price for this, if you really like the design. Otherwise, just make it cheap, because there is something in the quality of this playmat that it just doesn't hit. And the art, well, again, the usual PNGs for Pokemon when it comes to UltraPro. But yeah, the box is cool, and the extras are okay. So it is what it is. But hey, that's a theory. Now, but thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think about this, and if you bought this or you're thinking about buying this, and if maybe it's only my playmat that has this problem, but if you have it, let me know. Maybe it's just me. So I will see you next time on the channel that you're already subscribed to, which is PAX and Recreation. Bye.